Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors will make drastic changes after the season and want to sign tall, strong players. One player that the Warriors are interested in is Aaron Nesmith, a standout for the Indiana Pacers, even if he has to give up Tracy Jackson-Davis and Buddy Hield. Aaron Nesmith could be a big help to the Warriors in terms of size, three-point shooting, and physical strength. Trade suggestion: Warriors make a trade with the Indiana Pacers and get Aaron Nesmith. The Golden State Warriors are fighting for a guaranteed 2025 NBA playoff berth in a loaded Western Conference, owning the West's number 7 seed with a current 42-31 record. The Warriors have received plenty of contributions from up and down their lineup, especially from the emerging young trio of Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody and Quinton Post. Moody, specifically, has been an intriguing talent for Golden State. The two-way forward has excelled since the turn of the calendar year, averaging 11.5 points and 0.8 steals while knocking down 36.9% of his looks from distance in 2025. As a result of his exemplary production while filling an important role, the Warriors' general manager Mike Dunleavy could scour the trade market this offseason for a player of a similar archetype. This search may lead him to contact the Indiana Pacers front office in an effort to acquire their surging forward Aaron Nesmith, who will likely be made readily available for trade in the coming months, according to recent reports. However, it is hard to imagine this franchise can keep its slew of secondary talent like Andrew Nembhard, T.J. McConnell, Aaron Nesmith, and Obi Toppin should Miles Turner remain in Indianapolis on a new deal that pays him around $30 million annually, Clutch Point's Brett Siegel wrote Friday afternoon. These are the players teams are keeping a close eye on. Nembhard, McConnell, Nesmith, and Toppin have all drawn a considerable amount of trade interest over the last year. To bring in the energetic and uber-efficient forward, the Warriors could offer Indiana a package consisting of Buddy Hield and their number 57 overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft Tracy Jackson-Davis, whose role has been significantly lessened since the floor-spacing center post burst onto the scene. At just 25 years old, Nesmith has exploded as a consistent scoring option for a competitive Indiana group this season, contributing 11.5 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 0.7 steals on a ridiculous 62.7% effective field goal percentage. Nesmith has always been a strong, solid defender throughout his first 5 NBA seasons, and one that could certainly provide assistance for the Warriors' 4-time NBA champion Stephen Curry on that end of the floor, but his massive leap as a scorer could be what propels the Warriors towards another title in the near future. His remarkable athleticism and lights-out 43.9% shooting clip from three-point range this season could make Nesmith an incredibly attractive option for the Warriors this offseason, though the Pacers may have a steeper asking price in mind for the former number 14 pick in the 2020 NBA draft. Doctor explains why GP2's injury return could be challenging. Warriors guard Gary Payton will be sidelined for the next few days as he continues to deal with a partial tear of a ligament in his left thumb. He was ruled out of Friday's game against the New Orleans Pelicans and will be re-evaluated next Thursday. While he rehabs the injury on his left shooting hand, Dr. Seth Sherman of Stanford Medicine explained why the road to recovery could be difficult. "It's obviously challenging for shooters when it's your left thumb, that's critically important," Dr. Sherman said to NBC Sports Bay Area. "Of course, you can shift and play different roles and still help a team and protect yourself. Defensively, for sure, but there's no getting around dribbling a basketball, shooting, and there's a difference between a stable partial injury where we can live our lives and do the things that make some of us do day to day and being in the NBA and performing at that high level. So that might lead to a little variability in the time loss, but nonetheless, I don't think it changes the ultimate prognosis, meaning, injury that's proven to be partial, stable, if in fact, that's what it is, usually is something that can be treated conservatively." Payton too has been a key piece of Coach Steve Kerr's rotation that has proven to work as of late. In 58 games this season, he's averaging 6.6 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.3 assists per game on 58.5% shooting from the field and 33% from three-point range in 14.9 minutes off the bench. The 32-year-old recently suffered a non-displaced nose fracture in the Warriors' win over the Charlotte Hornets on March 3 and has played with a mask for the previous 9 games he was active before his thumb injury. Dr. Sherman explained that his potential return will depend on defining the exact injury and when it occurred, noting it could be a positive sign that Payton too played through the injury in Tuesday's game. He was able to complete the game, so that speaks somewhat to the level of severity, Dr. Sherman said. I'm sure they did a careful physical exam. X-rays and perhaps an MRI, which helps hone in on the diagnosis. From all accounts, if it's a quote-unquote pain tolerance injury, I think that is a reassuring statement. That means that it's not a huge complete and/or surgical or unstable injury. So the time loss associated might be less. I think reevaluation in the short term is kind of the plan, non-surgical treatments for now. Splinting, working on range of motion, getting the swelling down, and then, if it truly is partial stable, seeing how he does, with return to performance, in the short term. What gave Draymond confidence to guarantee Warriors championship? Having won 4 NBA championships, Draymond Green knows what it takes to find success on the biggest stage in basketball. So when the Warriors forward declared his team would do it again this season after its big trade deadline acquisition of Jimmy Butler, he had plenty to back his bold prediction. When you've done something several times, each time feels different, Green explained to NBC Sports Bay Area's Korath Burke and Monty Poole on the latest Dubs Talk episode. This thing needed to turn for us to win this one. That thing needed to turn for us to win that one. But amongst all of them, there's a feeling you have and you know. And you're like, oh, this team can do it and here's why. It didn't take long after Butler's arrival to Golden State for Green to sense that feeling he referenced. Green made the declaration on February 16 over NBA All-Star Weekend. Butler had played 4 games with the team by then, in which the Warriors were 3-1. While it was a small sample size to measure, Green had seen and felt enough to speak a 5th championship ring into existence. I think when the All-Star break had rolled around, we had played like 5 games with Jimmy, but I knew the feeling playing in those games, Green said. I knew the chemistry. I knew when this thing is going wrong, we got this thing we can go to now. I knew we got Jimmy, that allows us to play small ball, that allows us to go big, that allows us to play different lineups. When you're trying to win a championship, if you're going to compete for a championship, you must be able to throw different lineups out there. You may remember last year Steph, Curry, and Steve Kerr were talking about how we ran out of options. What they were referring to was we could not match any lineup that a team put on the floor. Now, with adding Jimmy, that gives us a much greater chance at matching any lineup that a team could possibly put on the floor. And in the playoffs, that matters. The Warriors have gone 16-5 since Butler first suited up on February 8, and they are trying to hold on to the Western Conference's number 6 playoff seed in a tight postseason race. On top of the feeling Green has, he also attributes facts to support his prediction. Steph definitely knows how to win a championship, Green said. I know how to win a championship. And quite honestly, Jimmy's gotten to the finals twice with teams he probably shouldn't have gotten there with. And to get that far and be on the verge of just one play needing to go your way, he has the know-how. So amongst us 3, and don't add in our maestro who is the guru when it comes to winning championships, he's got 9 of them. We have the know-how and that's a big part of it, too. Now we have this ability to match lineups, we have this ability to get to the free throw line, we have this ability to defend. I know what equals. I know how that feels. I also know what the vibe of a championship team feels like, and this team got that. So that's why I said it. I believe it. But there was one final reason Green said what he said on national television during the annual basketball showcase. Despite his proclamation quickly going viral, Green's message was intended for one specific group. And the last reason I said it was because I needed my teammates to understand this is what we're doing, Green said. This is what we're going after. So more than anybody I was talking to my teammates. I was talking to them. Warriors rumors, Dubs not too concerned with Jonathan Kuminga's pending free agency. The free agency market may not be high on Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga this incoming offseason. NBA insider Brett Siegel provided his scoop on how the NBA will look next season, especially after the salary cap will rise after the 2024-25 campaign. One of the topics involved the Warriors, who will be busy as they figure out how to negotiate with Kuminga about his contract. He is in the final year of his rookie contract as he will be a restricted free agent. Although owner Joe Lacob has made it clear that money won't stand in the way of him building a championship-level roster, how much money will this organization be willing to devote to Kuminga this offseason? Since the free agent market will be weaker than usual, Kuminga's market will be limited, Siegel wrote. This will likely be an advantage for the Warriors, as they could sign Kuminga to a reasonable contract instead of breaking the bank on a deal that exceeds $30 million annually. The Warriors, sources said, are not too concerned with their young forwards pending free agency, especially considering that no other team has the ability to sign him to a massive offer sheet. Until then, he continues to have a solid role off the bench to the team's benefit. This season, Kuminga is averaging 16.3 points and 4.6 rebounds per game after 39 appearances. He is shooting 45.3% from the field, including 32.3% from beyond the arc. Even though injuries had him miss 33 contests, he is now healthy as the Warriors are 22-17 when he plays. Warriors' Steph Curry reacts to returning from injury. The Golden State Warriors welcomed back Steph Curry from a 2-game injury timeout on Friday night in a 111-95 victory over the New Orleans Pelicans. Curry missed Golden State's previous 2 games against the Miami Heat and Atlanta Hawks, which resulted in consecutive losses for the Warriors. Without Curry, Golden State is no threat to anyone, East or West. So getting him back, even if he's not 100%, bodes well for the Warriors going forward with the playoffs just ahead of them. That said, just because Curry is back playing doesn't mean he's still not feeling some pain and discomfort. Warriors' Steph Curry reacts to returning from injury. Steph Curry will feel the soreness for a while after returning to the Golden State Warriors lineup from injury. In 34 minutes against the Pelicans, Curry tallied 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists but shot just 5-16 from 3. It wasn't Curry's most efficient outing this season, but can you blame him? He took a hard fall 3 games ago that sidelined him with a pelvic contusion. The Warriors couldn't afford to lose him for a lengthy period, considering where they are in the West standings and the fact that they're on the edge of slipping into play-in territory, a place that Warriors head coach Steve Kerr does not want to be in, and not just his for sake, but for Curry's as well. Skipping the play-in would allow Curry a week's worth of rest. It's a similar hope the Los Angeles Lakers hold for LeBron James. Curry could use the rest on top of the week he just had. That said, he is fine playing with the discomfort he talked about feeling after the win over New Orleans, according to Om Youngmisuk of ESPN. I think that, this time it didn't break anything or have any bone damage, was mostly just a deep serious contusion that I'll feel it for a while, Curry said. But I can play and I can't make it worse as long as I don't land on it again. Kerr also acknowledged Curry's 3-point shortcomings, but didn't hesitate to compliment his overall game in the return. I thought he looked great. He was moving really well. Took care of the ball. I thought Steph played an excellent game. He probably missed his last 5 or 6 threes, so the numbers don't look great, but he looked like himself. And I think the week off did him a lot of good.